Hello everybody, this is True Fractal here. I'm here with a tutorial for how to create a Minecraft server on Linux for 1.18.1. I am going to be covering an alternative to port forwarding at the end if you want to skip to that. At the moment, all we are doing is we are making sure that the Java version that you have is up to date. For Minecraft 1.18.1, you need to have a Java version of 17 on your computer. So the first thing I want to do if you want to update Java is you want to make sure, and this is only if you can do Java-version. So if you did Java-version, then you would see the Java version. I'll show that later on to show that my Java version is up to date. But currently, you'll just do superuser do sudo apt because you're talking to the apt libraries update and sudo apt upgrade so that you get the correct libraries and you upgrade to those libraries. So that your apt libraries are up to date so you can actually access Java 17. The next thing is another sudo command. I'm not running either of those because I already have Java 17 installed on my computer, but this one is sudo apt because it's used in apt libraries and it's an admin command, admin power command. You're installing Oracle Java 17 and you're setting it as default at the end of the command. So the first part is installing the installer for Java 17 and then you're setting Oracle Java 17 and then you're setting it to the default. So that any application will know that that is what they're supposed to use as the default. Next, I actually ran the command java-version because it wouldn't show any of my information. And you can see that below it is what actually ran the command. Above it is the command I echoed from the bash file to show you what it is. I will go over that in a future tutorial, but you can see below that Java-version, it says Java version 17.0.1, 21.10.19, meaning that it is up to date and it is a release. It's LTS, which means it's a long time service, or I don't know exactly what it stands for, but it means it'll be long time support, I believe. And so essentially it's Java version we wanted. So that's all good. Next is actually creating your server. So you'd want to create a directory to contain it first. I'd suggest doing this on your desktop so you know where the server is and it's easy to access. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to be calling mine Horizon SMP as spelled there. I have already created this folder, so I'm not going to actually run this command, but if you wanted to create a folder, the mkdir stands for make directory, and then the tilde stands for your root folder. So for me, it'll be home and then /home /user, and then it goes to /desktop and then / whatever directory you want to create. So in this case, I'm creating the Horizon SMP folder if I was actually running this command. But since I already have it, I am not going to actually run this command. The next thing to do is to switch to that in your command prompt. Yours will look a little bit different than mine because you'll be actually running it in your command prompt, whereas I am just showing you the commands that you would normally run. But cd is change directory, and tilde desktop Horizon SMP is the file path used to take you to the folder you just created, the directory in the case of Linux that you just created. And so that command was actually run. It doesn't show anything, but it was run in the background. So now I am in that folder. For an actual situation in Linux, it should show you it should give you blue text stating which folder you're in, and you should be able to see that you are in the correct folder. After that, I'm using webget to get the server download from Mojang. The site I'm getting this from is simply the Minecraft.net official site. If you go to support and you search up server, you go into the first result. This isn't actually the right result, but I've tried to find the search up for the correct result, which is this first link. You go to the first link here. you scroll down and it'll show you the current version. For me, it is 1.18.1 as of this video creation. And so I got this link from copying it and pasting it into webget command so I could show you the webget command, which is just getting a link from the web and downloading it for the purposes of this video. Then you would run this command that is pasted below webget, java-xmx, and then you write. So essentially what it's doing is Java, it's talking to Java, so in this case Java 17, the default Java that was set. -xmx is referring to the maximum megabyte amount that you're going to allocate for your server. So this will depend on what you want for your server. I suggest something to the power of 2 because megabytes and storage systems like that. So in this case, I'm allocating 4 megabytes to my server. You can see with the capital M at the end. So that is how much I'm allocating as the maximum that it can possibly use. The minimum I'm possibly allowing it to use is the -xms 2048M, because that is the same, except the S stands for minimum, and this is 2 megabytes of memory. -jar after that means that the next file is going to be a jar file that it's searching for, which is the server.jar file we downloaded from the site above. And then no GUI just means that the server is going to be run from the command prompt itself, which saves on performance and memory and other such resources. If I continue on, it will run the command that I had, and you'll see just a bunch of stuff. And then finally, it'll say you need to agree to EULA in order to run the server. Go to eula.txt for more information. So if I quickly run over to the EULA file over here, eula.txt, I'm just going to call it EULA even though it's EULA. And then you just simply select that and change it to true and save it. You can press Ctrl S or the big save button at the top right. Either of them work. You simply exit out of this, exit out of that. You go back here. And now, if I run the exact same command again, you can see it's the same one as above. Then I run it, and this time it'll actually open my server. You'll see a bunch of stuff, which is essentially, the top one is essentially it downloading all the files it needed. This time, it is actually starting to run the command. It's giving me some sort of warning about teleportation. You can see at the beginning, and then you can see it starts loading the recipe, the advancements. It tells me what version it's on, what game mode, what port I'm using. And it's saying preparing spawn area for the overworld dimension, Minecraft overworld. And once this finishes, then I will show you how to quit out of the server tab, which is something that will be quite useful. I do not believe it has any negative effects. It's just simply stopping the server. To do this, so from here you can type commands. So you can say /whitelist on, and that would put the whitelist on and tell you. But for my purpose, I'm not going to show you how to access the server. Instead, I'm just going to stop the server by doing stop, and now it's going to go on to the port forwarding section. So if you wanted only to know how to avoid port forwarding, or if you just want to know that in general, port forwarding was such a pain for me, and I never actually figured it out. Instead, what I did was a friend suggested I use NGROK to, instead of breaking a hole through my firewall myself, using a pre-created hole in the firewall that another application used and just funneling it all through there. So this is another sudo command to install a snap this time, a snap package from the snap libraries, NGROK, the application I was telling you about. So if we pretend that installed, then after that, if you run the NGROK command with the auth token, insert auth token, with the auth token argument, then you'd put in whatever auth token you'd have. So I have insert auth token, but in that place, you'd get whatever your auth token was and place it there. I am going to blur this section, but I will show you where to find it. If you go to ngrok and you go to the site, then you can log in or sign up in your case, because you probably would not have a pre-created thing. And you can go here and find your auth token. I am not going to show mine. I am not going to show my identity either, but this is where you would find your auth token. There should be a lot blurred on the screen currently, but that is where you do it. And the command at the bottom of the terminal currently is the command you'd run to insert your auth token, or but just replace insert underscore auth token with whatever your auth token actually is. I'm just not showing mine for obvious reasons, as I don't want it to just be out there on the internet. Then, because Minecraft runs on the 25565 port, you want to create a port to 25565. So the command for that is if you want to make a TCP port, which is what a type of port you'd want, then you go ngrok TCP 25565 using the ngrok application, a TCP TCP port, and the port number is 25565, as it is for Minecraft. Different games would have different things, and different port numbers are used for different applications and such. But Minecraft uses 25565. So then, if I run this command, I'm actually going to run it. I'll just blur some stuff out. You would get this interface. Now, if you look at the forward, if you go to the left side of your screen under session status, then you go to forwarding. You should have a link TCP : / and then a bunch of numbers and letters and decimal points and colons. You only need the section after TCP : / all the way to the end of the number, before the arrow, before the space, all that. You don't care about localhost, you don't care about TCP : / only that section in between. That will count as your server IP. If you close this tab with Control-C, then if you were running a server and there was anyone on it, they would automatically get kicked because the port would no longer be opened. So that's how you avoid port forwarding, that's how you create a server, that's how you update your Java. Hopefully this tutorial helps someone, and it's not just on the internet. But if you have any questions, write it in the comments below, and I will try to answer them. That's it for the tutorial. I hope it was very helpful. See ya!